So if you're familiar with the rapper Mike Jones, I'm sure you're familiar with the song Back Then. I'll paraphrase it a little bit. It's back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Now they all own me. I mean, it's a very famous line that people really use when they're talking about, before you didn't like me because maybe I didn't have enough money, or because I was a little chubby, or I wasn't famous, or I wasn't popular. But now that things have changed and I'm better, you like me now, And, the initial reaction is, that's messed up. People can be so superficial. But I'm thinking, it actually depends. It depends on how you got to where you are. So let me explain. So if if somebody met you and you had no ambition, you had no drive, you really had no direction, didn't know who you are, didn't know who you were, but you actually developed drive, and you figured out what you wanted out of life, and you started, learning how to grind and how to work hard. And then you get there, and now this person's interested in you. If they're interested in the intrinsic change, that actually, shows up as, you making more money, being more successful, losing weight, or whatever it may be. If there was an intrinsic change and they come across you and they feel the whole intrinsic change, then I'm like, you know what? I can understand why it is that, that they're kind of a little bit more interested in you, because you're actually different all around. You're different all around, and you're because actually the way you think is different, the way you look at life is different, the way you carry yourself is different. So then, to me, that's a little less superficial when someone likes you, because there's a full, I guess, holistic change is what I'm talking about. Then I'm like, okay, that makes sense. As a matter of fact, if I didn't go through a holistic change, I wouldn't be married to Melissa. Because she told me, she said, when I first met you, you were weird and you dressed funny and you're just different. And then I actually went through a full change. What really happened to me is I got closer to God. And as as I got closer to God, he kind of showed me to myself, and he kind of cleaned me up a little bit. I mean, I just became really intensely focused on him, and and he was like, you might want to change this about you a little bit. It wasn't like initially like a superficial thing. It was just, you may want to change your outlook on life. Have a little bit more of a, people call it a spirit of excellence. Put your best foot forward. I mean, I'm calling you to preach. I don't want people to be, distracted by the way that you look. Now, I know there's that, what's his name? John the Baptist, kind of thought that, he had on a burlap sack, a potato sack, and a weird belt. He was just real scruffy. He was real scruffy, smelled funny, ate bees and honey or whatever stuff. He was out in the wilderness, and people were like, well, if he can preach, well, how come I can't wear whatever I want to wear? I get it, but maybe if you want to help your ministry out a little bit, you want to kind of, put your best foot forward and look your best, when you're going in front of people. Anyway, come on back. Yes, come on back. Yeah, so Melissa, she told me, she was like, you just smelled nice. You were more confident. You dressed better. And I did. I was a completely different person, not just because of the way that I looked. I mean, there was a full, holistic, intrinsic change. And so to me, that's actually not as superficial. But if all that changes is that, you have money, or you have fame, or you lose all this weight, then to me that's a little fishy. You know what I'm saying? Say you always had that ambition, you always had that drive, and that person says you're corny and, man, you're never gonna make it, blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden that stuff you always did just breaks. Like, they catch you when you already made that change, and you already working out and running and eating right, and they're talking about you and like, man, you just gonna fall off like you did before, anything like that. And then you change and it begins to manifest, and then people start drawn towards you, then yeah, I'm a little fishy about that. I'm exactly the same guy I was back then. Nothing's changed except for have a little bit more money. I've lost some weight, or people are starting to recognize me now. Also, now you want to jump on this train? See that I'm like fishy. Now I will say, me personally, um, I won't necessarily just all of a sudden cut people off. You know what I'm saying? I have a little bit more grace than that. So, if you catch me like right at the bottom and then I rise and all of a sudden I see your attitude change toward me, I'll probably still roll with you, probably still rock with you, but I'm gonna, keep a close eye on you and just really see, how you are as a person. But yeah, it's the Mike Jones phenomenon. Back then, they didn't want me. They didn't want to fool with me. But now I'm hot. Now they all own me. And I changed the words a little bit to make it a little bit more palatable for this vlog. But yeah, I see people all the time on social media making these big changes, and then all of a sudden they get all this attention. That's natural. You know what I'm saying? I don't really hold it against people. You can't help themselves. People like, success. My dad told me everybody loves a winner. They do. They do. But, you have to be very careful and figure out who's who. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people were just like, they were with you the whole time. They're with you the whole time, and they roll with you through the ups and the downs, and they had you back, and they're with you. And that's cool. That's the good kind of people. Real good kind of people with you. I will say, though, they're not let off the hook either, because some of them, not everybody, but even the ones who were with you when things weren't great, when you were, at the bottom of your mountain, and they went with you to the top, some of those people are going to leave too. Some of those people are going to say, you've changed. And if you haven't changed. The perception of you has changed, and there's a possibility there may be a little resentment, especially if they were working with you and you got the attention and they did not. So I guess really you should just keep your eyes wide open and really just, be thoughtful about everything. Be thoughtful about the people that you spend time with and that spend time with you, and the people that are around you in your inner circle and maybe your little outer circle. Just pay attention to people. Love them, give them grace, but just, pay attention to how you've changed and how they've changed, and, proceed accordingly. Thank you for listening to this vlog. Be blessed. Now, if you enjoyed that vlog, I want you to do me a favor. I'm going to put my face in this general direction here, this area. And I want you to click on my face, because that makes sure that you subscribe to this channel. Also, I'm going to put some videos up here, I believe, at least one video up there. Yeah, I'm going to put a video right there. And I want you to check out my other videos. Click on it. Let me know what you think. Yeah. Be blessed.